The rat's in the video. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. I've realized that every video I post I get new subscribers, so I should probably catch everybody up on what we're doing. We are back on the 1958 Plymouth Savoy. Not a Fury, not a Belvedere, it's a Savoy. Today I think I'm going to get on some mechanical work. Of course, this car is on a 1989 Chevy Caprice chassis, and it has an Oldsmobile 307 engine. But I've got a carburetor and a distributor for it, as well as a single wire alternator. Because in '89, Chevy was getting to the point where they were starting to do, digital advance for the distributor. There was a lot of sensors in the quadrajet carburetor. So I got another quadrajet carburetor from my buddy Zach. This is an earlier one. This is 74, I think, 75, somewhere in there. So it doesn't have all of the electrical ports like mine does, all the electrical connectors. So it's got a remanufactured sticker on it, but the date is worn off. So let's go ahead and get rolling on this project. Hope you enjoy. Let's get this thing running halfway good. First off, I'm gonna have to pop this hood off. So I need to find my strength. I don't want to knock over my beverage. Hang on one moment. I really enjoy these Liquid Deaths. They're not a sponsor. I wish they were, because as many of these things as I drink. This is my bad habit, is these little teas. That's the peach one. Okay. Now I can get this hood off. I dropped an affiliate link in the last video for those teas if you guys want to try them. I highly recommend them if you like tea and you're not big on soda and sugar. They're really good. All right, let's get started on the mechanical work. First thing, let's disconnect the battery. All right, so first thing I want to do is compare the alternators and see if they're even remotely the same. That would be a bummer if they're not. Let's go up a bump here. There we go. All right, so this is my Amazon Prime, never heard of it, alternator. I assume that they're all just GM casings that are rebuilt in different places. So far, it looks the same. Again, all we have, this is normally where your plug goes in for your alternator, but we don't need that. All we need is the charging wire. Usually I do use the one that takes the plug so that I could run a idiot light under the dash, but I should be able to run the factory amp meter, or at least a regular amp meter with this. So should be good enough. But we got our battery disconnected, so we are safe to start undoing the hot wire that runs down to the starter. I'm going to need to grab some metric stuff because I typically don't use metric stuff. It's all standard. This belt is new. And then I got to tighten up the power steering pump. It's been squeaking. I guess I forgot to tighten it. I don't know. So I'll probably need a 13 and a 14 maybe. Probably just a 13. Yeah, just a 13. So this plug I don't need anymore. I guess it runs down. These both are hot. I'll use this for something else probably. So for now we'll just unplug it though and throw it up over. This is already handy. So we'll unplug it with that. I really need some valve covers. They're leaking bad. I might be able to take this off with this. Nope. I assumed correctly. Don't want to lose that. I'm not even 100% sure this alternator doesn't work. I did put the amp meter on it. You know, there's one thing I forgot to do before we get too far. That's all right. The alternator will be fine. I always, before I change out the carburetor and distributor, I want to run it, and then I want to change one at a time to see what's causing it to die out, if it's the distributor or if it's the carburetor. I assume it's the carburetor, but just out of curiosity. All right, come on out of here, alternator. They look the same. They look the same to me. This one's got a junkyard number on it. Yep. The location of the bolt that holds this adjuster bracket is a different spot, so that might be a big problem. Interesting. I guess it really doesn't need that. Because it's going to be solid enough. That's just like an extra brace. So I don't think it really needs it. Alright, so I got this extra brace on the back of the alternator here. On the new alternator, this is where the stud is for the brace, and this is where the electrical is. It's reversed, but I don't need this much strength because this is, well, when you put that bolt in the bottom, it's solid, and then this is solid. So the alternator is not going to flex. It shouldn't go anywhere. So I should be able just to remove this, and it should be fine. There's a spacer in here. It's like a, almost like a crush sleeve. So I need to push it back just a touch. Yep, perfect. Perfect. I've got to add that bolt into the back of that. So I'm gonna have to find that. So we're not gonna snug this up too much. We're just gonna get started. That's what we want. Now, oh yeah, that's solid. There's no movement in that. Perfect, okay. I've just got the fan running, that's why you can hear it in the background. It's been pretty hot out lately. But as long as I keep the shop door shut and the fan on, I don't have to turn on the AC yet. Oh, yeah. It's crazy how close this belt comes to the power steering belt. You know? It's almost like any floppage would be a problem. I don't want to pry too hard on my alternator. I just want it snug. I don't want it to sound like it's turbocharged. That should be plenty. And here's my main hot wire. Goes to this little feller right here. Don't know if you could see any of that. But that should be our charging system. We should be good now. All right. There we go. The bolt's in here somewhere. You can see how loose it is. I can move the pulley without moving the belt. I thought I had snugged it up, but maybe not. It's right here. I think it's a 14. Yeah. Let's try to snug this up while we're at it. Otherwise I'll forget until I start it again and then the belt's squealing and I'm just embarrassed. What in the flavor of love is going on here? There must be a 15. There we go. It is a 15. Everything's a 15. I apologize. I apologize for taking Flava Flav's name in vain. Seems reasonable. I could go tighter. Doesn't seem to want to move anymore. It's not bumping anything. I don't know what the deal is here. I'm pushing as hard as I can. It's hitting something. Maybe that's as far as it goes. Maybe I just need a slightly smaller belt. Fine. Woo! All right, alternator's done. Let's fire it up and see if we have 13 or so volts. All right. I've got the cap popped off my cheapie. I actually just wanted to make sure that I did this on camera because this red wire keeps wanting to come out and I don't want to plug my plug in backwards. So we're going to go ahead and undo this at some point. What the I hope this distributor is the right one. All right, get that cheap cap out of the way. I searched for a 70s OE distributor, but couldn't find anything for a 307. I guess people just throw them away, maybe. Don't bother trying to resell them. I have no idea. Well, yeah. I wonder if I could use this cap on my cheap Chinese distributor. So at least I would have the Delco Remy coil and everything. That would be neat. The only reason I'm doing this is so I can have a vacuum advance. Everything's so crusty. Oof. It was getting black up in that cap. All right. It is pointing straight back here. Try a wrench. No fun. I knew this would be a problem, though. Please hold me. Oh, this hurts pretty bad. It's funny, it turns so easy with the wrench, but when you get your fingers on it, you can't turn it. Painful. Can't see anything. That's why I've been putting this off. I wonder if I should drag the air over here and blow that off so I don't get any of that in my engine. That helps. I was just using that as a hammer, the leverage as a hammer to tap it out. Because obviously I don't want to bust my distributor in case I have to drop it back in there. Ooh. If I have to go that way, I won't have any room. Oh, pain in the rump. Ugh. It's not tightened all the way up yet, but maybe it's on a piece of junk. Maybe I gotta pull it back out and clean the surface. Maybe there's a piece of debris underneath of it. Maybe there's a piece of debris under it or something, I don't know. Let's see if it runs before I even really worry about any of this. All right, that should be go mode. And we'll go ahead and see if we're charging while we're at it. I should have started it and warmed it up first. That way I knew that it was pumping fuel and everything. It's one of those things I forgot to do. No, well, what can you do? Battery's dying. All right, it's running. So that distributor's probably close. Something's wrong, the belts are slipping. Smell them? Why are the belts slipping? Is that alternator already toast? Something's dragging bad. Is it the water pump? No. The power steering pump and the distributor are already super loose. I mean, not the distributor. The power steering pump has already come loose again. And so has the alternator. I gotta figure out what's going on here. So I've got a bit of a problem. The drive belt, now it's tighter again. So the drive belt is the power steering belt, but it's not tight enough to drive the water pump to drive the alternator, so it's all just slipping. You see how I can move the whole water pump pulley without moving the power steering? So it's not grabbing good enough to make my charging system work, which is probably why my other alternator wasn't charging either. It wasn't spinning fast enough. So I got to figure this out. So I've got something cool to share with you guys. Another cool thing about YouTube, social media, all that fun stuff. I posted a short here on YouTube. You guys probably saw it. It's just this car, which, you know, what else is new? But at the end, I zoomed in on the Plymouth emblem here. And a guy saw that on Facebook, because I posted it as a reel on Facebook. And he said, hey, I've got some reproduction V's that I've made. I cast out of resin. I'd like to send you one for your car. He had 2 extras that he had made, and he graciously sent me one. So we're going to go ahead and pull this center piece out of the grill, which, you know, is not exactly priority, but it'll be something fun to do real quick to start off. I guess start off the video. I don't really know if this is going to be at the beginning of the video or not. Did I put a nut on the back of this? I don't think I had enough stud to put a nut on the back of this. I guess I should pop the hood and find out. Oh yeah, I'm still on the Tiger Rummy kick. So, for the older people that watch my videos, which I know the majority of my audience is older, you guys will remember the Stray Cats, which I actually have a Stray Cats tattoo. They were a rockabilly band, 50s based rockabilly band that came out in the 80s. Well, there's a whole subgenre called psychobilly, which is like a punk rock version of rockabilly. And there's a lot of cool bands that came out of that movement. And then now it's into the punk. That's Lars Fredriksson. He's the lead guitarist for Rancid, the punk band Rancid. This is his solo project, which came out around the same time I was becoming an adult and getting into cars. And I think I'm still going through like that midlife crisis, you know? So I'm revisiting the music and stuff that I was listening to when I was dreaming about doing this stuff, now that I'm actually doing it. And I'm trying to appreciate basically how far I've come in the car world in my life. So I've got that nostalgia on hard lately. there's no bolt on the back of this, or no nut on the back of this, so it should just come off. It just doesn't want to. Geez, I thought it would pop right off and the video would get started, but it's a lot more complicated than that, so it's really wedged in there. Oh, man. All right. Maybe try to pry it out a little bit. There we go. There was just enough in there that would make it hold on. There we go. See, there's just enough stud left to where it wanted to cling to the grill. There's a deleted, I think it's a deleted scene in Christine where he has half of a new grill and half of a busted up grill. And I think it's Pepper. He's like, I didn't know you could buy half a grill, but for these cars you could. So I guess that's why it made the cutting room floor. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can get this thing squared away. I was hoping to bang that dent out of there, but I'd really have to take it apart, which is just punched. Maybe I will take it apart. Maybe I will. Because it does need new studs, and they're just pressed. So I could probably even JB weld new studs in there, but I don't know that they would stay. It's aluminum. I don't know. I could see where the original V went. See how there's these indentations? It goes straight and then there's indentations. So that tells me that I need to drill in that rib, because that's where you'd be able to get the socket in to get the V on and off. So I know where to drill. I'm just debating if I want to take it apart and fix this damage or not. I don't think I have any black paint either. Well, I do. I'd have to mix some. How far do I want to go? Do I want to just drill some holes and slap the V on, or do I want to restore this little trim piece? I might just drill some holes. We'll see. All right, so I looked around. Okay, I looked around the shop and I found this little wrench. It's probably for air tools. I'm going to try to take out this dent using this. You see it bridges Let's see. Let me go a little lower here. Hang on one second. Boop. There we go. You see how it bridges this inner piece? So I'm able to hit here in the center, and hopefully it will drive it down onto that dent, the other side of it. I'm going to use a piece of wood because I think a hammer would hit too hard. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing here. I'm going gently, and I'm trying to walk the tool down as I go, so I'm not hitting in one spot. Kind of let it fall. Sorry if that's really loud. This keeps me from having to take the whole center grill assembly apart. Because it's pressed, it's aluminum. I'd be worried that the aluminum would just be so brittle that it would break. And you see how far that's come already. We got a little bit left here that we should try to knock out. It's looking pretty good. We got a little bit of a scratch, but that's not too bad. I'm gonna hit it one more time. I hit one more pass on it, and then I'm gonna call it done. Sometimes you just end up going too far. All right, I'm gonna call that done. I got my holes marked. Since it's aluminum, it should drill very easily, which I've already got one divot started. I'm being very gentle. I don't want to put any pressure on this. There's one. Let's see how close I was. Might have to go a little bit larger with the holes. Just a touch larger. They'd fit, but let me find a little bit of a bigger drill bit. That'll work. Getting the washer on there is going to be a hoot. I could just get a magnet or a pair of pliers, but where's the fun in that? Okay. Well, that was actually a little bit of a fight, so. But I got it done. We got this little bit of a dent taken out. Again, I don't have any black spray paint for the first time in my life. So I'm just going to try to maybe jam this thing back on here. There we go. went back on easier than it came off. It looks better. Move this out of the way. Yeah, the hood needs to close farther. Obviously, it's just sitting up there. But it makes a difference, I think. Let's see if I have an official piece of hardware to hold this on. I do. Here it is. This is official Plymouth hardware. Where you at? Come here. Come here. At least it matches the black. There we go. Perfect. It's just temporary for looks. I just want to see how it would look. I think it looks better. Oh yeah, that's much cooler. All right, now let's get started. As always, I want to thank my channel members. We have got all the way up to George Faber here, are at 3 months subscribed, or 3 months members rather. So I really appreciate that. Everybody. We got Sawdust and Cigarettes, Bluegrass Rust and Revamp, Foobar Model Yard, Hell's Damned, George Faber, Joe Francis, Mark Murphy, Raymondi, Z-Man, Gen X Rising, Ben Johnson, Carl Coffrin, Diabolical 58, Josh Long, Sly Guy 2000, Terry Dooling, Craig Allen, Martin Kiska, Stinkbug and Draven Lee, Fried Pig Nipples, can't not laugh, Moomster, Zane Nash, Morgan Lagai, Morgan Lagai, 57 Savoy Fins, and Akeem. I am actually running short on time today. It's already almost 5 o'clock, so I don't know how that chewed up so much of the day, but now I need more parts, so I need to write a list, I think. I need the power steering. It's hard to do this because you want to like look through the camera instead of looking at what you're writing, so you start to drift off. What else did I need? I think I need some stuff, some fuel line. And clamps. My writing's a mess. There's something else I feel like I needed. Oh yeah, valve cover gaskets. I can read that, don't worry. Is there anything else? Just to get it going, I need that belt so it stops squealing. I don't want to put the car, oh yeah, base gasket for the car, just in case. Base gasket for the car. That's it, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to wrap up this portion of the video, but I don't really want to end it on a cliffhanger. So I think I try to break my rule about filming on Fridays. So I think I'm going to break my rule about filming on Fridays and film for like an hour or so in the morning so I can get this belt on. Because I definitely want to check my charging system and I want to get that carburetor swapped. I kind of want to check my timing to see if I can move my distributor back, because See how close that is to the firewall? I want to be able to swing that to advance and, you know, retard my time. So not that you'll know this, but I guess I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to wrap up for today. There's a bunny. You got a boogie, bunny, because I got to go over there. You're going to let me get really close to you, aren't you? I could almost catch you. Very close to this bunny. Go, bunny, go! You goof. Oh yeah, this thing's almost done too. Go, bunny. Got some parts. Now we're talking. Let's check our voltages real quick. I don't want to smog myself out, so. That's interesting. There we go. Wait, what is happening? Check it the old school way. Let's charge it. Yeah, we're good there. All right. Well, good enough for me. All right, so what I'm doing is taking off this rubber line somebody put in between the steel line. I guess it rotted out and they cut it off. It's got some like black oil coming out of it, like an X-Files episode or something. It's really weird because it smells like syrup. So it kind of makes me think that somebody might have sugared this gas tank at some point in this car's life. Smell. It smells like syrup. It's weird. I've never had old gas smell sweet. And we'll blow it out. Ew, the fuel hose was touching me with the slime coming out of it. There we go. All right. Ugh. A little rusty, a little crusty. Blow the old gal out here. Oh, it was a little clogged. Fuel filter ought to stop all that. We'll see. All right, now I got to do the return line. So, let me show you what I got going on up here. As I bang the camera all around here. Woo. Can you see that? The screen's so tiny. Yeah, you can, okay. So what I've got here is this is a pair of hose clamp pliers. They're really cool. When you hit the, let's see if I can get it released. Hit the release and it lets the pressure off the hose clamp. They work really good for hose clamps that are down in engine bays and stuff you can't get to. Like that. See, I can just reach up in there. I'm on top of the hose. There we go. I should have got it. I can't see if, yeah, I think I'm on the hose clamp. Yeah. I don't think I'm all the way on it though. For your listening pleasure there, weed eating outside and the fan is on, so hope you enjoy that ASMR. I've got some extra fuel line hanging down. I'm going to move some stuff, let the car down, cut a gigantic hole in the trunk floor to pull the fuel line through. We'll plop the fuel cell in, and then we got to work on that return line situation. I don't have any fuel hose small enough for the return line, but we'll figure it out. So let me move a couple things around, we'll drop the car. Oh. Hang on, there was a metal shard hanging off my drill. Got it. You ever been poked with a little metal shard? It don't feel good. Grabby. Perfect. Plenty of room there. I'm going to slap together a couple things for this fuel cell real quick. Sorry, I'm opening another tea. It's my afternoon reward. It's a blueberry buzzsaw. Come on, Liquid Death. Sponsor me. I'll shill for you. It's a product I enjoy. I believe in it. I need to take some time to thank the person who sent me the Grille Emblem V. So let me double check his name before I misremember. I'm pretty sure I do remember it. Yep, Nick. I knew it was Nick, but I wasn't sure. So yeah. So thank you, Nick. Is there an inner? How are you supposed to do that? There's an inner ring. Oh. Oh. There's an inner ring. Oops. Come here. Alright, you guys can see. So I need it to, I want it to be facing this way. So I need to probably go here. Come here. Slippery boy. There we go. Then I just spin this bad boy on around. Look at that. Uh-oh. Did I lose one? Okay, no. There we go. Excuse me. Stay. Vent. There we go. I'll probably eventually put the vent on something like this so I can do it up to the top of the, here we go. I'll put the vent on here eventually probably because I want to run this up to the factory fuel filler neck area. All right, I'm going to get this fuel cell slapped in real quick and then I've really got to take a break and clean. But this is going to be my fuel line. I got some adapters. There we we go. I might do a right angle, but for now that's okay. All right, slap this thing in here. For now, I'm going to cut that hump out of the floor there. Sorry, my beverage is in here. I'm going to cut that hump out of the floor right there, and then my fuel line is going to come up and in. I might turn it sideways. Might cut that hump out, turn it sideways, and do my fuel line so it's shorter. It's temporary until I put the stock fuel tank back in, the stock Caprice fuel tank. So that's where I'm at now. Unfortunately, hang on. Unfortunately, I don't have everything I need to finish up the Plymouth fuel system. I need some more fuel line. So I think that's where this video is going to have to end. We got a charging system, we got the distributor in, we got some of the fuel line ran. I need a little bit for the return. If it wasn't, you know, I gotta clean this place up really bad. So I'm gonna wrap this up, upload the footage, and that's gonna be it for this video. So I appreciate you guys watching it, and we will continue to make mechanical progress. I don't want to do the carburetor yet because, again, I need all my fuel lines and I want to be able to move this thing around. I don't want to disable my fuel system. So that's where we're at with this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little longer than last week's video. So it's all good. Oh, did you find the rat? The rat was in the video. He was in here somewhere. Definitely was in here somewhere. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching, and take care.